Okay guys, as you can see by the title, today we are going to be decorating our fireplace mantles for all 4 seasons. And guys, we're going to do this by using 3 simple, very basic steps. So step number 1 is going to be to choose our anchor. And for most of us, our anchor is going to be our flat screen TV. However, you could use a piece of artwork, you could use a clock or mirror, but whatever you decide to use, you want to make sure your anchor is centered over your fireplace, okay? And so after that, we're going to go in and add weight to both sides of our anchor. Here I am choosing to use candle holders, okay? Another popular weight to add to the sides of your anchor is also a really pretty vase. Your weights, guys, do not have to match perfectly, but you do want to make sure that they complement one another. And so step 3, guys, is going to be to bring in your filler items. Fill the empty areas of the mantle with small pieces of decor. However, we want to try to avoid getting pieces that are the same height. We want them to kind of be staggered in height, and we do also want the pieces to kind of overlap. This actually creates depth and texture. You can use picture frames. You can use other candle holders, as you see that I've done here. You can add small flowers. And guys, all of this creates a natural path for the eye to follow. Okay, so I think we can call this our spring fireplace mantle. I think it is really pretty, nice and bright. So now let's go with Christmas now. All right, so the anchor is gonna stay the same. I've actually kept the weights the same on the side. So for the filler pieces, I've just taken a really basic glass jar and added some really pretty ornaments. I think the colors of the ornaments actually complement the decor that we have here in the house very nicely. All right, so on the other side of my anchor, I've added a really pretty tinsel Christmas tree. For the filler items, all right, step 3, I'm just going to add some pieces of garland. And so guys, as you can see, the pieces that I've chosen to use, they are shorter than my anchor piece. You do want that. And again, you can see too that the decor pieces don't match one another exactly on either side of the anchor. However, they do complement each other very nicely.
Can I help you?
How are you going to talk about mantles and decorating mantles without talking about how you frame and mount televisions and how you hide them?
What does
you gotta hide the wires? If you
that
got the
have
wires,
to do with the property brother?
If you got the wires hanging down, it's gonna mess up the whole feng shui of how you're trying to do your holiday decorations for your mantelpiece. Okay. So let me walk the people through.
Okay. Are you gonna walk us through with just a flashlight? Because I noticed there are no tools in the belt today, love.
Look, the property brother is taking like a half day today. This is more of a laid back property brother day.
Okay, so you came in on your day off?
I'm a day off to help y'all out, to help you out of your videos. Okay, so.
All right. Okay, let's get to it. Let's not hold the people up.
All right. So I'm going to talk about 3 ways that you can mount your television and kind of hide the wires. All right. The first way, and we're going to go through 3 different examples. The first way that we have on this TV is we have in-wall cable management, right? And what that means is when you're building your house, right? Or if you're doing some type of renovation, obviously for a lot of mantles, you want to have electrical outlets at the top so that you can hang your TV. But a lot of times you have your TV up here, but you have a receiver or a video game system or a cable box or, you know, an Apple TV, just all these different devices. And obviously they can't fit up here. So you need to run wires from the TV to all those different inputs. So don't just put the power outlet up here. You also need to put an in-wall cable management system. Right? Okay. And if you search and Google on that, go to Home Depot or Lowe's, or if you're doing a home renovation and have a contractor, just tell them, hey, I need a cable management system.
So where do you put that cable management system?
So all it is basically a hole in the drywall with a pipe, right, that leads down to the bottom somewhere where the wires can come out and connect all your different devices.
So I guess when you put the TV up, you won't necessarily see that hole, or do you?
Yeah, because it's going to be behind the TV. Okay. Right, so all the wires will go from behind the TV. They'll go back and behind the wall, and they'll come out at the bottom.
Okay.
And matter of fact, I'll just show you guys in this unit how we have the cables. They start here, but they come out at the bottom where they connect all of our equipment. So here it is, guys. So this hole that you see on the right with the blue wire coming out, right, that's coming from our TV. So there's basically a pipe or a conduit that the wires go through the drywall, get snaked through here and come out, so we don't have to have any exposed wires. And then we even had some additional kind of audio visual wires, right? So this is the ideal way to do it, but you know, obviously the downside to this is this really has to be built into your house before you put up the drywall, right? Because this is all behind the drywall. So if you're doing a renovation or, you know, purchasing a new home, this is definitely something you want to make sure that is included, because typically nobody buys a television that it just stands alone, right? You always have to have it hooked up to a video game system or a cable box or something where you got to have all these wires that come from the TV to your various devices.
All right, guys, so back to what we were doing before that interruption. Okay, so we've done spring, we've done Christmas. Let's go ahead and take a look at summer now. So as you guys can see, I have actually kept my anchor the same. Of course, I'm not going to take the TV down, but I've also kept my weighted pieces on the side of my anchors the same and just went ahead and added in some books, okay? I love having books around the house during the summer. You know, when we think of those long days of summer, we also think of reading. So for that reason, I love having, you know, books here in the house, and they make great filler pieces for our fireplace mantle. I've actually gone a step further and added weights atop my filler pieces, guys. And as you can see here, I am really reusing some of the pieces that I used for my spring mantle, okay? This is a great way to save money. You guys know that when we are trying to decorate our home for each season, that can really get a bit expensive. So kind of being able to reuse pieces that we have used for a previous season is a great way to cut the cost. And so guys, because I know that fall is quickly escaping us, I decided to just come in with this particular DIY fireplace as an honorable mention. This is actually a faux fireplace that Eric created for us upstairs in our master bedroom. This is for those of you who would really love a fireplace mantle, but it's not in your budget right now. Let me know if you guys would like Eric to give a little quick tutorial on how he created this one.
All right, guys, so the second way to hide wires is to use smaller components. So for example, what do I mean by that? So for example,
so do you want to tell them where we are right now? This fireplace looks different.
We're in the basement, right? So what we decided to do in the basement with our home entertainment configuration is keep it really simple, right? We didn't need a bunch of stuff connected to the TV because we've got all that upstairs. Down here, our entertainment is Apple TV. That's basically it. We can stream everything we want, play video games. Everything we need to do is on Apple TV. So the Apple TVs are really small. If you haven't seen one, I'll show you. It's actually behind the TV. So all we really did with the Apple TV, right, it doesn't need to sit anywhere down here because it's so small. It is literally stuck on the wall behind this TV. There's enough space between this TV and the wall. You just stick the little Apple TV to the wall behind it, and it's plugged in the same plug that's behind the TV, and you're good to go. And it's not just Apple TVs that are small. Your cable company now, a lot of the cable companies, DirecTV, I'm not sure about Comcast, but I know DirecTV sells really small cable boxes, right, that'll work with your overall cable system. So you don't necessarily have to put it on the shelf. You can stick it to the wall behind your television, so all the wires are hidden behind the TV. So I'll grab the camera and show you guys where we've got the Apple TV. It's literally stuck on the wall behind this television. So guys, just to show you where the Apple TV is around, I'm gonna swing around to the back of the television, and you can see there's a gap here. And this black box right there, if you guys can make that out, that is our Apple TV. And it is just mounted to the wall. Now, when you mount it, I actually went to Amazon and bought it was like a metal bracket that you could mount your Apple TV with, but honestly, I didn't even need it. I figured the Apple TV, that little box is so light, you can just use command strips and kind of just stick it to the wall and it'll stay up there. So again, pretty simple. You can see all the wires are back here behind the TV. So everything is, our whole entertainment system is self-contained behind this television set. All right, so we are on method number 3.
Now, we're in the gym. This is not a fireplace. This video was Fireplace Mantel.
All right, I hijacked your video. I admit it. Okay, fine. I hijacked it. All right, it's better with me in it anyway.
Whatever.
So, the point of this is, we all have these flat screen TVs, right? They look great on the wall.
How do you know everybody has a flat screen?
Well, most of us have flat screens. They look great on the wall, but then you got stuff like DVD players and video games so you got wires hanging down. So these are some alternatives, guys, okay? So, this TV does have the Apple TV stuck to the wall behind it that is hidden, just like the last one I showed you. But this is in our exercise room, and my wife has a bunch of exercise DVDs. So we got the old school DVD player. Yes, we're probably one of the last households in America that has a DVD player.
As well as a home phone. You know we have that home phone.
We do have a home. We got a landline.
A landline.
We got a VCR down here. I'm just kidding. We don't have a VCR. We do not have a VCR. So we couldn't obviously mount this behind the wall. So you can buy special shelves. If you go to like Amazon and just search for shelves to hide wires, or just search in Google, look for shelf hide wires, just Google that. You'll see this. So what it is, you have the wires that come out of the TV, but they're hidden by this little black bar. So the wires come down here and they're behind this black bar and they go into the back of the DVD player.
Cool.
Now, you can actually do this yourself, right? Let's say you had a bunch of stuff. So down here we have our entertainment kind of console. Let's say you had a bunch of stuff down here. You can buy, if you go to like a hardware store or just order it from Amazon, you can buy molding. There's wire molding. You can just use trim, wood trim if you want to be creative, bamboo, right? So there are other ways to kind of hide this if you go to a hardware store and kind of get creative. They do actually sell molding for wires that you can push the wires through. Now you're still going to see it. You probably want to get like a white one to kind of not be too conspicuous. Or if you're a decorator, you know, put your little vase right here. You know what I'm saying?
You can hide it.
But again, you have options to hide the wires. So, you know, definitely check it out. Be creative, and you know, make your unit look really nice and not conflict with your wife's wonderful holiday designs.
All right, guys, so thanks so much for stopping in today. I hope you have enjoyed not only my tips, but Eric's tips as well for creating the perfect fireplace mantle for all 4 seasons.